Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the new 992 911 Turbo S. This particular one is finishing a special paint to sample color called Brewster Green. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Porsche here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this Turbo S. This particular Turbo S is available for sale for the time being. They actually have a few others also available for sale as well. So if you're interested, I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out everything that they have. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a turbocharged 3.745 liter flat 6-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. Power outputs are a whopping 640 horsepower at 6,750 RPMs and then 590 pound-feet of torque at 2,500 RPMs. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, here's a quick look at the key fob, which I think is so cool because you guys can see it looks like a car there from the side. And something that I learned recently is when you lock the car, you guys can see it actually illuminates, and when you unlock, it also illuminates around the Porsche logo. But anyways, we're going to hold that down and that will pop open the front. And this is one of the things that's cool about the 911. It is very practical. You guys can see we've got this storage space here up front. It actually goes in pretty far. You even have a little bit of netting here on the side, and you get a light as well. I'd say you could fit probably a duffel bag or maybe even two up front. Now, this has Porsche's LED matrix lighting system. The outside casing obviously is normal 911, but once you look inside and see everything that's happening in there, it's pretty dang crazy. And then you guys can see down below with more lighting. And then we do have elements like parking sensors built on the front end. You guys can see front camera. Looks like we've got a sensor there for cruise control as well, but it's all very well hidden. And putting it all together, especially finished in this Brewster Green, this thing makes a statement. Now, coming on the side here, our tire wheel setup is 255 35 20 in the front and then 315 30 21 in the rear. So we have a staggered setup here. And then you guys can see with the rotors, again, remember this is a 20-inch wheel and they are absolutely massive. And for those of you wondering on all the exact options on this car, I have a build sheet for you later in the video. We of course have the famous gas cap cover here on the front fender, which it's just a Porsche thing. And then you guys can see here with the mirror caps how those are body painted. And then you got the cool pop out door handles. And of course, you guys can see here to tell that it's a Turbo S because all the other 911s is just going to be flush. I mean, here's a good example, as you can see. And then notice here with the roof how that's all blacked out. And then here's the side profile on this 911 Turbo S. Again, I love how the green kind of just changes depending on how the light's hitting it. It almost looks like black in the back there, but then when you come and have the light hit it, you can tell that it's green. It's pretty cool. Now, another thing about the Turbo S, you guys can see we've got a big spoiler here in the back, and then we kind of already showed that when I went over the engine and everything. Obviously, just like every other 911, it is rear engine, and then Turbo S down below. And look at the exhaust tips on this. I love how it's all built into the diffuser, by the way. It has a really clean look because of that. And then of course we got the cool light bar design. And putting it all together, let me know what you guys think about the design here on the new 992 Turbo S, and then also what you think about this green. Now, taking a look at the door panel, you can see really nice leather trim, and look at the contrasted stitching that actually matches the leather down below. But in normal Porsche fashion, really solid fit and finish. You can see with this trim down below, everything just has a tight appearance and feel. I mean, even like the door handle itself feels super tight. And then you guys can see here, we've got memory seats. You've got your mirror adjustments. The mirrors do power fold in, and they've got blind spot monitoring. Now, sorry about the lighting with this particular shot, but you guys can see the rear seats back here, and just like look at all of the leather trim here in the rear. I mean, it just looks absolutely fantastic. But obviously, you know, with the 911, a lot of people just use this for extra storage. And then this leads us to the front seats. You guys can see Turbo S right there, and then notice how it's perforated all down the center portion. And then we've got a million adjustments here on the side, so you can see the seats are very adjustable. And then notice here for the front and the rear to pop that open. And I love that Turbo S. That's really cool. And then we do have really nice looking pedals down below. And then of course, this is what you turn to turn on the car, and then you got some light controls around that as well. And then just look at the trim here and on the dash too. Again, a really tight fit and finish. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, really nice leather trim all around. It's so cool. We got the drive mode select on the steering wheel itself. We've got these really cool paddles here on the back. They've got a very nice tactile feel to them. And that's same with all of the rest of the controls. You do have practical controls like your voice command controls. And then you guys can see all the stocks here on the back as well. Now we've got the 5-gauge layout here with the 911, and I do have to mention this. You guys can see from the driver point of view, the gauges on either side, they're kind of blocked by the steering wheel a bit, but you guys can see it's just temperature, time, and then I guess fuel range. I mean, that's important to note, but I mean, you just kind of have to look to the side to see it a little bit, but I think partially maybe that was on purpose because, Porsche's always had a 3-gauge layout. Anyways, regardless, I love that the RPMs are front and center. Looks absolutely fantastic. And the fact that it's like an analog gauge, just, ooh, it really helps out. Now we've got this really solid 360 camera system. Obviously the 911 is not a super big car, so it doesn't really need a 360 system, but it is, a supercar, so it is nice to have so that when you're going to tight parking spaces and all of that, you don't hit anything. But yeah, I mean, resolution on this is absolutely fantastic. And I mean, yeah, you can see all the important viewpoints. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, this is Porsche's newer unit they have in a bunch of their cars. And frankly, first off, it's really easy to use. Response time with it is absolutely fantastic. And I mean, everything, again, it's just super straightforward. Like you press the car tab and this will let you do the sport exhaust, for example. You can also extend the spoiler, which is another part that's cool about the Turbo S. And yeah, again, everything's just really straightforward. Almost forgot to show the drive modes. This just shows all the utility here with the Turbo S. You guys can see we've got a wet, a normal, sport, sport plus, and then an individual mode as well. Now this is for the front end lift. You guys can see for the sport exhaust, hazard lights, stability control, and then to adjust the suspension. And then just look at all of the trim here and really tight fit and finish, even at the top as well. Definitely has that like Craftsman type appearance. And then I love the vents here too, how they're integrated. And then notice we actually have physical buttons for stuff like the climate controls, also for the radio. And then yes, we've got the little shifter here. Really easy with the functionality right there. And again, I love the clicking sound with all the buttons. We also have nice features like heated and ventilated seats. And then you guys can see here for the sunroof controls. And then we have a singular cup holder right there, the parking brake. And I love the carbon fiber. I think that's really cool. And then look at that with the crest. That's really cool. Now I was trying to figure out a good camera view for this, but I can't really, so just press that and that'll let you open up the center console. Got some USBs inside of it, and then we've got the glove box. Look at the handle for it, by the way, really high quality, lined with felt and all of that. And then up top, I kind of mentioned we do have a sunroof, and we've got a nice premium headliner as well. So this is a pre-owned Turbo S, but this is the original build sheet. You guys can see paint sample Brewster Green, and then look at the base MSRP, $207,000, and then look at the price for Brewster Green originally, $12,830. Now we've got a bunch of options. Porsche is famous for letting people customize literally everything with the car, as you can see, and we have a second page for all this. But you guys can see after all options and everything, total original MSRP was $247,180. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, and throughout the rest of the rear. And with that being said, we'll set off, but we're also going to, I don't know why I try to click it up. We're also going to put on the front end lift as well. Oh my goodness. That was the dorkiest thing I've ever done. Let me try to flip the down switch up. Anyways, the front end lift, let's see how well this works. I guess if it doesn't work well, then I will owe the Porsche dealership a new front bumper. So that'll be like the budget for the next like videos for probably the next, like half a year. I'm just kidding. It's probably not that expensive for a bumper, but anyways, yeah, that person should have turned that corner that fast. And then let's see how fast this goes down. That's quick, honestly. Like, the transition, actually do need to have it up though again for this street here. I don't know why I put it down, but I just wanted to see the speed. It's quick, honestly. Some front end lift systems that I've seen are kind of mega sluggish, and this is definitely not the case. Also, that Audi RS3 with the green, that's cool. Okay, so now we put it down again. Transmission's super smooth. Again, this is a dual clutch. So you'd think that the transmission, you know, might be kind of, you know, jerky, being a dual clutch. But no, I mean, it's very smooth. Okay, I just want to make sure we're in the, so we're in normal. So we're gonna keep it normal for the first part, because I want to see like the suspension and everything just in the normal drive setting. It's so cool to see on the side of the car. Oh, this is why I love the Turbo S. It's such a cool look to see with the wider fenders and everything. I mean, it's really cool. I will say, you know, I've seen a lot of reviewers say that the new 911's too refined. It's a super comfortable car. Like, this would be, you could definitely daily drive this, but it still has an edge to it. Like, it definitely feels way more performance car than, I mean, any modern car that you're gonna drive. It doesn't really matter what it is. So yeah, to all those people that say that this thing's too soft, I mean, it's definitely like more of a luxury car that you could drive, but you can still feel that it has an edge. And I mean, like, sound deadening, that's a good example. Like, I can hear what's happening in the road with the tires and everything more so than a regular car. And the suspension, it's firm. Like, again, like, this is not hiding the fact that it's a performance car. But again, still, you'd be able to daily drive this, especially like with how comfortable these seats are. For example, they're like, the bolstering's like great on these seats. I really like it overall. And again, like, transmission's everything's really smooth with this. It's got the Porsche precision, I guess is what a lot of people like to call it. Okay, so we're in the manual mode here. Oh my gosh, that's just partial throttle. Oh, by the way, it also puts up the spoiler on the Sport Plus mode. It's like, yep, we're full on race car mode now. In the flat 6-cylinder, even though the turbos, you know, again, that's another thing I've heard. Oh, the turbos muffle the engine. It's that thing, like, it's right behind you, and like, you can very clearly hear what's happening back there. So yeah, I'm starting to learn, you know, average car journalists, they don't know what they're talking about. Oh, wow, wow. Oh my gosh. That was, I know, like, again, okay, here's the deal. Whenever you film anything, it never looks that crazy. It's always like, everything on video just always, like, cars don't look as crazy as they look in person, and accelerations don't look as crazy. What I just felt was the most intense. Oh my gosh. That has to be like the most intense acceleration feel. Even like, okay, obviously, you know, electric car, like, I've driven the Tesla Model S Plaid, for example, and the Model X Plaid. Right off the bat, like, that kicks harder because this has, you know, turbo lag. And obviously I wasn't doing launch control. That was just first gear and then getting into it. But let me tell you, when the turbos hit in this car, it's just, oh, front end lift, by the way. Let's try this. Again, it's so fast. When the turbos hit with this, yeah, and dude, this has so much clearance. I know I'm kind of going all over the place at the end here, but I'm so impressed with this car. It's so fast. The one thing that I will say that the average car journalists are correct about is, and let's just put this back in normal mode, regular horsepower versus Porsche horsepower. You hear 640 horsepower and you think, man, that thing's gonna be fast. This is so much faster than, like, it's so much faster than the 640. It like, I don't know how to explain it other than I felt like I just got kicked in the chest with that acceleration, and I'm the driver. I can't imagine, like, you have an unsuspecting passenger where you just do an acceleration, one of these things. So I understand the appeal, and I guess this is where I will sum things up here with this Turbo S review. I think this thing looks beautiful on the outside, beautiful on the inside, great build quality. You could daily drive this. You put it in the Sport Plus mode, and this thing turns into an absolute weapon. And I mean, that's an acceleration that's so brutal. And again, because of the turbo lag and everything, it makes it more exciting. It's so brutal that, like, this is, I don't think I could ever get bored of this car. I don't think anyone could ever get bored of this car. Like, I'm sure people will say that they have, but they're just lying. Let me know what you guys think.